Hello dear students. Once again welcome back to our online class. As usual you are watching Chamam and today we are going to continue with the short story Quality written by John Galsworthy. So we have seen in the previous video that when narrator expressed his thought regarding the quality of the shoes which he brought in the previous time, and he reported it to Gessler brother that he has got some crack in the boots, and Gessler brother was having a lot of doubt that whether the boot was actually belonged to his shop or to somewhere else, and he asked the narrator to bring those boot to him and he will be taking care of, he will be looking into that. Okay, and I think we have stopped there, and today we'll be continuing with the rest of the part, like what was Gessler brothers reaction, or how he identified that whether that boot is made in his shop or made by him or his brother, or really the narrator has brought it from somewhere else. Okay, so we'll be continuing the page 28 of your textbook, and please have a look into that. So here the Gessler brother says that send them back, he said, I will look at them. So send them back means, actually again I told you, sir is pronounced as z. Okay, so send, actually it means send them back. Okay, and I will be looking into that. And some boots, he said slowly, are bad from birth. If I can do nothing with them, I take them off your bill. So he says that some boots, okay, he said very slowly, means in a very low voice. Okay, and as if like he's murmuring to himself or to the narrator. So he says that some boots are bad from birth, means are very bad from the birth. Now here birth refers to the first stage of making the boot. Okay, means from the beginning process of making the boot. So some boots, he said slowly, are bad from birth. If I can do nothing with them, if I cannot do anything, means I cannot repair them or I cannot mend them, then I take them off your bill, means I will be returning your bill. Okay, I'll be returning your money. Once only I went absent-mindedly into his shop in a pair of boots bought in an emergency at some large firms. Okay, once it happened with the narrator that he was having emergency and he was not having time to place the order and get the boots ready. So he just absent-mindedly went into the shop and he bought a pair of boots. Okay, and in an emergency at some large firm, and this was not actually he bought from the Gessler brothers shop. This was from somewhere else. Okay, some other place or some other large firm, means large footwear shop. He took my order without showing me any leather, and that person took the order of the narrator without showing any leather. Okay, we have seen that when the narrator placed the order with the Gessler brother, what did the Gessler brother do first? He just went inside and he brought the very fine and the best quality leather and showed to his customer, that is a narrator, and if the customer is satisfied, he then started making the boot with that particular leather. Okay, but here the scene is entirely opposite. Here the shopkeeper didn't show any kind of leather to him, and I could feel his eyes penetrating the inferior integument of my foot. Now you can see that he was feeling his eyes, means the shopkeeper's seller's eyes penetrating, looking very deeply into the inferior integument of my foot, means every minute details of my foot. At last he said, those are not my boots. So the Gessler brother finally is like post-mortem that boot, means observed very carefully, and everything, means the shape, the leather, the quality used, okay, the design, the pattern, and the making of that, everything he just observed very carefully. And then finally he told to the narrator that, look, these are not my boots, it's not from my shop. The tone was not one of anger nor of sorrow, not even of contempt, but there was in it something quiet that froze the blood. Okay, so here when the Gessler brother said this to the narrator, he was not very angry. He didn't spoke angrily that those are not my boots. Neither he said in very sad voice, sorrow voice, that those are not my boots. not even in a contempt, as if like disagreement, but there was in it something. But the way he speak, those are not my boots. That like it's like it froze the blood. Now why an artist feels like his blood is frozen? Okay, so the reason is that this is the point where someone question the credibility of the artist, or the skill of the artist, okay, or like that ability of the artist which he got inherited from his ancestors, and he was continuously working on it from a long period of time, and so far he has not yet received any kind of complaint, okay, any kind of complaint regarding his products he make use in making the boot, the quality of the leather, or the design, or the pattern, or the making of it, or even the finishing of that. Okay, so far no one has questioned on that. So as a result of that, this is the first time someone who just criticized his work, and it's like great insult for a real artist. Okay, he feels insulted, he feels like a humiliated, and it froze his blood. So he says that he put his head down and pressed a finger on the place where the left boot, enduring to be fashionable, was not quite comfortable. He just looked into that boot, and he pressed with his hand and a finger on the place where the left boot, endeavoring, it seems to be very fashionable, it seems to be very fancy and attractive, and was not, but the thing is that it is not comfortable to wear. Okay, you know that when you buy some kind of shoes or sandals or bellies, etc., we see that they are very very attractive, very colorful, lot of well designed, and very glossy one. But at the same time, like when you wear it, you can see that your toes are not fitting into that tapering part of the front part of the shoes, or the tapering part of the shoes, and in course of time, like in once you wear it, you get hurt. Okay, and you feel uncomfortable in walking. Okay, so that means that all that glitters is not gold, all that glitters is not of really good quality. Okay, you cannot judge a book by its cover. Okay, so here that is what it says, that by seeing the colorful, fashionable, glossy things, or a good design and pattern, or a reasonable price, if you go for that, there you will be losing your comfortable of wearing that or using that particular object. So it's yours, you there, he said. Those big firms have no self-respect. Trash means trash, trash. So he says that it's yours, you there. So it's yours, you there means this is the one you use. He said those big firms, okay, have no self-respect at all. Again, they don't have any kind of self-respect of that what products they used to sell, and they are not bothered whether their customers are happy with that, their customers are satisfied with that, or what things they are giving to their customers, will it last for a long period of time, or will it maintain the quality or not, guarantee them for using for lasting for a long period of time. Nothing, they don't have any kind of such thinking. For them, the product is what matters, and the business selling is what matters, or marketing is what matters, and the income is what matters, or profit is what matters. Okay, so they are not bothered whether the customer is happy, whether the customer is comfortable, or whether the customer comes back again to this shop. They are not bothered. If this customer doesn't come, another customer will come. Okay, so that is what they think. Okay, so and according to Gessler brother, these type of objects or these type of materials are totally a trash, means waste. And then, as if something had given way within him, he spoke long and bitterly, and as if like he feels like something is coming from his inner heart, and he want to share it with the narrator, and he just started speaking on that bitterly, painfully. It was the only time I ever heard him discuss the condition and hardships of his state. And this is the first time, that the narrator comes little bit closer to the Gessler brother, and comes to know about how much the Gessler brothers toil themselves in making such a best quality boots. Okay, and what all sacrifices they do, how they manage their financial situations, how much they have to spend for the buying the very good quality leather, how much they have to spend for the other accessories necessary for making shoes. So this is the first time that the narrator come across with such details from the Gessler brother, or you can say that in other words, the Gessler brother narrator, this is the time that narrator felt little compatibility with the Gessler brother to know something more about in detail about their trade, their business, or about their own life and their own conditions. Okay, so they get it all, he said, they get it by advertisement, not by work. They take it away from us, whole loaf of our boots. I gomes to this. Presently, I have no work. Every year it gets less. You will see. And looking at his lined face, I saw things I had never noticed before. Bitter things and bitter struggle. And what a lot of grey hairs there seemed suddenly in his red beard. So this is a narrator comes to the closeness of the Gessler brothers. Okay, and now the Gessler brothers continues, like he's telling the story in common or sharing something in common, and he says that they get it all. Yeah, they get it all, like these type of rubbish stuffs. And he said they get it by advertisement. So how they used to manage to sell or increase their selling, and this they will be doing by the advertisement, not by work. That means their publicity is spread everywhere by the advertisements and not by the quality of the work that they do. They take it away from us, whole life our boots. Okay, so they take it from away from us, means they take our customers from us by making the customers feel to go behind the advertisements, and make them to convince with the advertisement and go and buy those products. Okay, the whole life of our boots, means the whole life means the lasting of the boots. So they, with the advertisements, people go and buy the things. They are not bothered whether this particular thing will be lasting for a long period of time, or how long they can make use of it, or whether they are comfortable in using this particular thing or not. They are not bothered. They just see the advertisement and they just go behind the advertisement and they just go and buy the products. And this is what the Gessler brother, he, from these words of Gessler brother, we can come that the Gessler brother is also pitying the people's judgment regarding the things, isn't it? The people are also going in such a way that they are not bothered about the quality whatever things they use, but they are like fascinated by the colorful advertisements, and they go behind the advertisement and collect the products. Okay, so, and advertisements keeps on changing, and the products displaying keeps on changing, the design, the color of the products keep on changing, but one thing that doesn't change, that the quality is not changed there. Okay, so maybe every day by day the quality of that product is decreasing. Suppose like in olden days, you used to buy any cosmetic, any cream, for example, let us take the Fair and Lovely. In olden days, I think from last 50 years the Fair and Lovely is there in the advertisement, and at that time also it claimed the fairness, and today also it claims the fairness. Okay, now today there is some more, earlier the tube was big and sufficient, and now it's like only 3/4 of the tube you will get the cream. And again, now they claim that you are having the different shades of the skin, and according to the different shades of the skin, in course of time your tanning decreases, or the melanin content in the skin decreases, and will help you in getting your skin fairer. But this is only an advertisement, for them it is like convincing the audience. So this is only customers, this is only an advertisement code that they make use to customize their customers. Otherwise there is no change brought in the Fair and Lovely users. Now, what type of people they advertise? Do they really advertise a very dark skinned person when they put the advertisement? No, they choose a very beautiful and the fair skinned people. And so what's the purpose of putting a cream on the fair skin person, will the person become more fairer? Okay, so if they really show it by applying it on a dark skin person, so it, and if the person is having gradual changes in course of time, then you can accept that this thing is really working, isn't it? So I just give an example, don't go for the controversies, just give an example with this. So there are many products in the market, like they claim for the things, but when we use for a long period of time and we will come to know that it is nothing, then why do people again continue using that? It is like, there is a kind of inbuilt, they have just what do you say, in their conscious level they have just fixed it that if I use this I look good, if I use this I will feeling much better, or it in course of time, maybe all these years it has not improved, in coming days it, so that hope is there in them, or their mind is already conventionalized with such advertising captions or the claims that they give, and automatically people, like like a flowing river, they keep on using it. Some people keep on changing and experimenting with the different products. So this is how what works, and this is a real ability of the advertisement, that they know the pulse of the people and they used to advertise in such a manner that the people automatically will feel like go and buying those products, rather than exactly checking out the quality of the product there. Okay, so that is why now this time Gessler brothers says that presently I have no work, that have no work shows that the because of the rapid increasing of the advertisement, rapid increasing of the marketing, rapid increasing of the selling in the bigger firms in a bigger manner, has actually deteriorated their profession, their work, and now they lack customers, and they have no work. And that means when they have no work, their financial status is very poor and their condition is very bad, and every year it gets less, and as year passes on, day by day the number of the customers decreases. And looking at this lined face, I saw I had never noticed. And when this time the narrator sees a different person, different Gessler brother, who used to speak very less whenever he used to meet, and this time he just opens his heart and puts the statistical things in front of him, and also expresses their present scenario, their present condition, and the narrator feels very sad, very sorry for them, bitter things and bitter struggle. So now this is a time of the bitter things, that especially Gessler brothers never focus that they have to raise their business. Okay, they always felt saw only two things: one is the quality of their product, second is that satisfaction of their customers. Okay, they didn't go for marketing, they didn't go for further establishment of their shop, they didn't made any changes in their shop, neither they go for marketing, or neither they employed more people, or neither they involved more kind of machineries etc to increase the production. So whatever income they used to get, and they have to buy all the resource materials from that, and after everything is done, they get a very little amount from which they survive for the food and or for their basic needs. Okay, so that means that in course of time, the real artists are not at all respected, or not at all considered in front of these huge industrializations and huge business firms. Okay, so as a result of that, such traditional efficient artists remain unknown, and most of them remain in a very poor financial state. Okay, so, and this is what the narrator realized this time when he interacted with the Gessler brother. And what a lot of gray hairs, and he can see that a lot of gray hairs are grown in between his beard, that shows again the poor life condition, that shows that he has toiled a lot in his profession etc. Okay, as best I could, I explained the circumstances of the purchase of all those ill-omened boots, and the narrator also joined and explained with him that all the circumstances of the purchases that purchased, that ill-omened means bad sign. Okay, so ill-omened boot, some things when you buy you feel like this is lucky for you. It brings good things in your life, good changes in your life. But some things when you buy or like when you keep it with you, you feel like it is like a bad omen. Bad omen means ashubh, okay, bad omen. And it like maybe after buying or purchasing that thing, it you keep on facing problems, difficulties, or something not good that's happening, okay. So that is why this he feels like whenever after buying this particular boot from that big firm, the narrator also felt that like he explained the circumstances of the purchase of those, in what circumstances he had to purchase. And it's like a bad omen. After that, every time he had to buy the boots, okay. But his face and voice made so deep impression that during the next few minutes I ordered many pairs. Now this time the narrator deliberately ordered many pairs of the boots. Actually he wanted only one pair, but when he listened to the condition of the Gessler brothers, he felt sad for them, he felt pity for them, and as a like helping them, he as like directly if he give money to Gessler brothers, they will not accept. So he thought of giving more pair of orders of the boots so that it will become a help to the Gessler brothers. And this time he ordered many pairs of the shoes. Nemesis fell. They lasted more terribly than ever. Okay, and he said that this many pairs he ordered this time, and he knew very well that if he order maybe like for next 2 or 3 years, there will be no need for him to come back to Gessler brother. But still, it will become a help to them. So he ordered many pairs, and they lasted terribly ever. And he knew, and it lasted too. And I was not able consciously to go to him for nearly 2 years. And since this time he ordered many boats, and for nearly 2 years he never felt like he have to go to the Gessler brothers and consciously, because with what reason he will be going there, okay, because already he don't want to order the boots, because already he has ordered many pairs and they are in good condition, they are working well, and means they are lasting well. And Gessler brothers also know that once at least their product will last for 2 years, and the customer need not turn back to them, okay. So this is how the narrator tried to know little bit more deeper about the Gessler brothers and try to extend a helping hand for their poor condition. I hope you understood this much explanation. So we'll meet in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.